What's up, everybody? I decided to make this a two-part video because it was so long after including the interview and all the information about us going to get the car, bringing the car back, and all the in-between. So this is going to be part one. It's going to be the interview with Ryan about the car and the car's history, and then part two will be us going the trip to get the car and come home. So yeah, enjoy the interview. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit about the history of Maui Carlo.
Well, my dad's favorite car has always been the 71 Monte Carlo. And
now, why the 71 and not the 70?
When he was a teenager, his aunt had a brand new red 71 Monte Carlo, and she let him take her car to prom with his date, and ended up paying more attention to the girl than the road, and ended up wrecking this brand new red 71 Monte Carlo on the side of a bridge. Bridge entrance, kind of hit the front right corner, but it's always been his favorite car.
All right, interesting story. So, sorry to interrupt. Continue.
So while I was growing up, Dad has had 3 different 71 Monte Carlos, I believe. He's a missionary in Africa, and he always had to get rid of his 71 Monte Carlo when he went back to Africa, either because he couldn't afford to keep it or he didn't have a place to keep it. So I remember being in 3 different ones. And this current one that I'm letting Josh borrow, we got in Memphis in '97. I think it was for $1,000 bucks, and it was running and needed some work, but it was a pretty good deal. And so I enjoyed working on that with my dad a little bit, but I was driving a Buick Electra, I think a '88 Buick Electra, when I was a late teenager, and drove that part of the time in college. Actually, I had 2 Buicks. I had an old Buick Sabre, and that got rear-ended and totaled. So then I got the Buick Electra, and the Buick Electra burnt to the ground one time
At Taco Bell,
at
Taco Bell. Right?
So yeah, I was on a work break. I went over to Taco Bell and went inside, and I was standing in line, and somebody started pointing out the window and saying, "Hey, somebody's car is on fire. Who is?" I turned around. I was like, "Oh, that's mine," and flames are just billowing.
And then you
from
jumped in
under
it to save the speakers, if I remember correctly.
no. I after the fire was extinguished, I salvaged the speakers and some other stuff. But the fire was just boiling out from under the hood, and was so big that it melted the front tires and melted through the bottom part of the windshield, and part of the dash was melted. And don't know what started the fire. Maybe just some insulation caught on fire or something. I don't know. But after that, my dad let me have the 71 Monte Carlo as my primary car to drive in college, and I worked on it, and I learned how to tune a quadrojet doing that, and changed the starter and motor mounts and different things like that. And I remember I was driving that car in college when I started dating Laura, and it wasn't too many dates in. It was her birthday. I went and picked her up at her dorm and started backing out of the parking spot, and I was paying more attention to this beautiful girl than what I was doing. And
Like father, like son.
yeah, and I backed into this parked Toyota Supra, the one with the pop-up headlights, and just ran into its front corner and smashed its pop-up light on one side. Didn't dent or scratch the chrome bumper on the Monte Carlo. That thing's a steel tank. But I think it was like $1,800 of damage on the Toyota Supra. Anyways, so I've been working on it for years. I'm kind of the caretaker of it. Take care of it when my dad's in Africa, and when he comes back, he takes it to Memphis and drives it around and stuff. And I've rebuilt the original engine in it and put a thumper comp cam in it. It's about the biggest sloping cam I can put in there and keep it looking stock. It sounds really good. And done some of the interior, did the carpet and the upholstery. And while I was doing the upholstery, I found the original build sheet up under the seat. And so the history of the car is that it was originally built in Van Nuys, California, for the Honolulu Motor Company. And so it was shipped from Van Nuys to San Diego, I think, and shipped off to Honolulu, where it spent its life until 1994. And then we bought it in Memphis in 97. So it has a lifetime history in Hawaii, which I thought was really cool. And so Josh and I kind of worked together, and we came up with a good name for it, the Maui Carlo.
All right. Yes, I think it's fitting, man. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to work together. I'm not going to do any modifications he doesn't approve of, obviously. But we're going to work together and try to restore this thing piece by piece and do a few little things. But I really appreciate you letting me borrow this car, man. It's going to be so much fun.
It is fun to drive.
I'm going to be taking it to a bunch of car shows and stuff when they start back. We'll see when that happens, but now I have a vehicle to take to car shows, so we can do reviews at the car shows of other people's cars and see what people say about ours. But yeah, so thanks for letting me borrow it, brother, and yeah, we'll be keeping in touch on it.
We have a lot of memories in that Monte Carlo with
Oh,
Josh here in Memphis. His first car he's driven on the road.
Yeah, I was 14 or 15, can't remember what. So Ryan just got this car running, and he comes and picks me up from my house, and we're driving to church, and we decided we want to play around in the car a little bit. And I was like, "Hey Ryan, do a burnout." He goes, "Man, I can't do a burnout." I said, "Yes, it can." He's like, "No way." I said, "It's got a 350, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Move over, I'll do a burnout." And like I said, I've never driven a car on the street, but my dad is an insane mechanic, and I've watched burnouts. I've been around cars, fast cars, my whole life. I was like, "I'll get it to do a burnout." He's like, "No, you won't, but you won't," and got out, and I got in the driver's seat, and I got that tire spinning. He's like, "Whoa, you can't do a burnout."
Yeah. Just the back right one, though, because it's what, a limited slip differential. So.
Yeah. So I got that one tire spinning.
Yeah.
And then, so he's like, "You want to drive it?" I was like, "Well, yeah." So I take it off. We're driving, and I'm doing about 60 and a 45 and going over a bridge. There's a cop coming over the other side, and I just saw the lights. And as soon as I saw the lights, I dropped the gears, slowed that car down from 60 to 45, 40 something, relatively low, before the cop car could even crest the hill to see the Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And Ryan's hands were on the dash because he was about to go through the windshield. He's like, "Hey, I didn't know I could slow down that fast either." It was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Another fun memory in that car. It was snowing like crazy in Memphis, and he come again, pick me up from my house to go to church because I wanted to ride with him instead of my mom. And on the way home, he's like, "Let's drift some corners in this icy snow." And we're drifting around, and he comes around one corner a little too hot, and it's sliding and sliding. It's like, "Here comes a curve!" Pow! He cracked a rim. And so he had to buy a new rim. So then, like, we got this one shiny, really nice rim, and then 3 others They match, but a little bit darker.
Yeah.
But now it's got all matching. Almost look like factory rims. Are they
They're
factory spec?
Factory style steel rally rims.
Yeah. So the car looks good. Needs a little body work, but overall it's a solid car. Been around for a while. A lot of fun memories between the two of us and that car. And yeah, so hoping to continue the memories in it, and we'll have a good time.
Good time.
Good times. But yeah, this car brings back so many memories. Like Ryan and I, we've been friends since I was 10 years old, so we've been friends for over 20 years, about 26 years. And just all the stuff we used to do in this car. Crazy stuff that kids shouldn't be doing on the road, we were doing. Fun story. So back when Ryan first got it running, because he learned to tinker on this car. Like Ryan is very mechanically inclined, but when he got this car, he didn't know much about working on cars. He used this car to learn everything he knows. And so when he first got it running, he decided he wanted to put an electronic ignition in it. So he took it to my dad. Like I said earlier in the video, my dad is an amazing mechanic. So he took it to my dad, and my dad installed it for him. He's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And he put it in, and then so my dad told him, he's like, all right, take it for a test drive, see how it runs. And Ryan's like, how about you take it for a test drive? You're the mechanic, you'd know if something didn't feel right. So my dad said, okay. Took the car for a test drive. Comes back, pops the hood, messes with the carburetor a little bit. And Ryan looks at him like, why are you messing with the carburetor? We just installed an ignition, not carburetor. And my dad said, okay, now you take it for a test drive, and I want you to get on it a little bit. So Ryan said, okay. He got on it, and the 4-barrel opened up. And I mean, the sound of that 4-barrel is amazing. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but listen. Like, there's nothing like that sound. Anyway, so Ryan did that and pulled back in the driveway after going around the block. He's like, I didn't realize there was a 4-barrel carburetor. That's awesome. My dad's like, yeah, it is. And opened the hood again. Adjusted it just a little bit more. And then closed the hood. He's like, all right. He said, it's getting late. Ryan, you head on home and be safe. And Ryan leaves and drives home. And this is before everybody had cell phones. Ryan gets home and calls me. He's like, hey man, can you ask your dad why if I'm sitting at a red light and take off, the car dies? And I was like, what? And I repeated what he said out loud, and my dad just starts laughing. I mean, he's laughing hard. And he yells back, I did it on purpose so you don't kill my son. So if Ryan ever tried to drag race somebody from a red light, the car would immediately die. And he'd have to restart, lose the race, restart the car, lose the race. So he wouldn't street race. And anyway, so my dad told me the trick to override it and everything, and told me not to tell Ryan, which I immediately told Ryan because he was my best friend and we were stupid kids anyway. But yeah, so that's one of the many stories that just popped back into my head driving this car. yeah, so we're gonna have lots of fun in this car on this channel. I hope you like, subscribe, comment some things you'd like to see us do with the car. We may or may not do it, no promises.
I can imagine his dad laughing super hard. I can imagine how hard he was laughing.
Yeah, so
I bet he was laughing so hard he started gagging.
he wasn't laughing that hard. Anyway, so yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you'd like us to do to the car. Remember, he wants to restore it more to factory with a little bit of muscle. So we're not going to do crazy stuff with it. We're just going to
Keep it as original as we can.
That's right. So, but if you know of any car shows around the Kennesaw, Atlanta area that you'd like us to come to or anything like that, hit us up in the comments. Let us know. I'd love to check them out. Leave comments down below. Subscribe to our channel so you can see the little things we do to it every now and then. And enjoy the ride, and we'll see you next time.